So moving on to another question, I'm going to paraphrase it. We know where the policy is at right now. It's in its final actions. It could be published. But the other part of this question is asking, do you expect any retroactivity with any sort of policy approval or enactment? Previous investors, would they be impacted?
Yeah, I mean, we got one lawyer, two lawyers, three lawyers, four lawyers, right? And I think it's fair to say that everything in me as a lawyer suggests to me that it would be very unlikely and almost un-American, right? Not fitting with the way we do things in our legal system for any of that to have an effect on people who have already put down their money and have already invested, already made that commitment in the past. So it could happen, but I don't think it would.
Yeah, I mean, the basic PC answer is nobody knows. But in reality, you think about this in practical contract terms, there has to be some sort of smoothing out process, right? Or grandfathering process. Because the basic scenario is this. Imagine you filed today and you put up $500,000, and then say the new regs came out a week later, and now you have to invest, say, $800,000 or $1.3 million. Could you really pony up an additional $300,000 or like another like $800,000? That's a lot of money. Most people will just be priced out, pure and simple.
Not even priced out. Like, what if the project doesn't need it? Hey, Colin, I have an extra $9 million for you. Cool, but
what are you going to do with it, Colin?
What are you going to do with it? I mean, I think there's very few instances of government or the U.S. government, putting in new regulations and making them retroactive. And it happened a couple times in the 90s famously. But, I mean, I think the likelihood of that. And then if you have a green card and they ask you to put more money in, you have due process rights. You want to take that to court. Happy to litigate it for you. I don't think so.
Okay. So one thing from the development community, investors and developers, banks, lenders, insurance companies, all this kind of stuff, if all of a sudden a major chunk of your capital stack is being yanked out of a deal because the deal changed, all these EB-5 investors needed to fork up another $500,000 or more to stay compliant, they're denied and or tossed out, that money's got to go home. Every single one of those participants are going to be up in arms and suing the federal government for those purposes. You can't take money out from under the senior lender when it's already in. But if it has to go home, then there's lawsuits all around. The federal, U.S., it is inconceivable that they could place retroactivity that would threaten a previous petition. It would be such a nightmare that they wouldn't even dream about it.
And we've seen the new legislation that's come out has yanked any of that language. I mean, it showed up once, I think, before 2015 deadline in September, and since then we've only seen a more smooth out of a runway.